Discriminatory characters in Of Mice and Men and Today. Subject by subject. Merrin Hoops. 12/6/2020. Introduction. In the book Of Mice and Men, the two main characters are Lenny, a person that is likely, though not never stated, mentally handicapped, and George, Lenny's friend and essential caretaker. The book explores themes of discrimination in the Great Depression of the 1920s and 30s. Thesis. Since the 1930s, stigma towards mentally disabled people has not vastly improved, at least within the workplace. While the social stigmas around the mentally disabled have fallen out of favor, the workplace stigmas have remained mostly intact. From Of Mice and Men. Quote, "And what I got," George went on furiously, "I got you! You can't keep a job and you lose me every job I get. Just keep me shoving all over the country all the time, and that ain't the worst. You get in trouble, you do bad things, and I got me to get you out." His voice rose nearly to a shout. As said within the text to the right, resentment was a big part of stigma towards mentally disabled people. At that, we can infer that George is using Lenny as a scapegoat for all of the problems that have amassed over the years, which helps to fuel resentment. This doesn't just happen with George and Lenny, but with everybody. Article 1. Mentally Disability and the Workplace. A big part of our lives is the workplace. It gives us status and purpose, has people to meet, and overall, most people at some point will be in a workplace. But because at the core a workplace is social, stigmas can leak in. We find that disability is not predictive of having a good job after controlling for socio-demographic characteristics and health status. In most cases, stigma and social norms can make it much more difficult for somebody of a mental disability to find a good job of good quality. First article continued. Overall, for somebody of mental disability, finding a job can be difficult, if not impossible, simply due to stigmas, customs, and norms. Article 2. Mental illness in the workplace. Conceal or reveal. For people with mental disabilities, exploring and staying safe within a job can be just as difficult as finding a job. To reap the sociologic benefits of disclosure requires legal protection from discrimination. However, to make use of the law, it is necessary for a person to bring themselves within a protected category. At present, there is no specific category related to mental illness. The only applicable legal category is disability, although the association of mental illness with disability brings its own difficulties. Due to the slim protection from the law for mental illness, discrimination and stigma becomes more common, and deciding to reveal or conceal an issue can be a difficult choice. If not solid legal protection is provided, it is difficult to disclose a problem without being scared of unseen consequences, and it's not going to get any better if nothing is done. Compare and contrast. While stigma towards mental illness has improved, it still holds on to our modern society. While physical actions towards people of mental illness have died down, discrimination has kept firm. We can see this clearly if we compare our modern day to that of the 1930s. While stigma against mental illness was much more vocalized and strong in the 1930s, even in our modern day, stigma remains strong through physical shows of stigma has died. While physical shows of force or stigma have either slowed or ceased, discrimination on the large part remains unchallenged and unwavering. To solve this, a simple but difficult to implement set of laws would likely need to pass, protecting people of mental sickness from discrimination with strong and concise guidelines. We're excited.